Well, you were showing badgers. It seems we're having a bit of a badger fest here on Springwatch tonight because at exactly the same time that you were talking about badgers, look what happened live on our cameras here. A badger walks through a shot. Isn't that incredible? It's obviously a great place for badgers in this area, isn't it?
Nice to see them out in daylight as well, look at that, and in the rain, and doing what badgers always do on Springwatch.
Scratch.
Have a good scratch before they do some anal rubbing. Anal rubbing, I promise, will come later in the week.
But how amazing was it to listen to that badger drinking water? I love things like that. As I say, tune your ears into nature. Now, when we first arrived here, we did see a badger set. And so to find out whether it was active or not, we put some trail cameras out. And we were pretty pleased because this is what we saw. There was a lot of action, a very active set. 6 adult badgers. They all came out. This is typically what they would do when they first come out before they go foraging. They'd start sniffing each other, scratching, stretching, playing, generally being very active before they spend the night out. So we put live cameras out. This is our live camera. Let's see if there's anything on it at the moment. There isn't, but you can really see the set there and you can see the entrances. There'll be a few of those entrance holes and that's where the badgers have been coming out. Probably a little bit early for them. We've been seeing them a little bit later on come out. But they really have been very, very active when they do start to come out. Sniffing around the tree, playing a bit of peekaboo, and then they do this sort of dominance copulation, just getting on top of each other. You often see it with your dogs as well, running about. But then have a listen, because they listen to that noise. Interesting noise, isn't it? I love that noise. I mean, you love badgers, so you must have heard that noise so many times. It gets louder and louder the more active they get. Listen, I love it. What did we have yesterday? We had a badger drinking yesterday.
Noisy.
In the past, we've had a badger eating an apple.
Noisy.
And now we've got badgers doing dominance copulation and making a lovely noise.
Noisy.
Noisy, yeah. OK, let's check out our live cameras. And in fact, there's been lots of activity already just before we came on air. The badgers were out. The good old badgers came out of their set. I love the fact that that's what they do every time they come out. They just have a jolly good scratch. You know how dogs, when they wake up, what's the first thing they do?
Shake.
Yeah, actually stretch, I was going to say.
Stretch,
yeah. They do a good old yoga downward dog, don't they? But look, I mean, that is just a fantastic shot of a badger coming out, ready for the night, having a great scratch.
If there was one species you would like to turn up down the pub...
Now?
Yeah.
At this point in time?
Well, yeah. I mean, we're here for 3 weeks.
Earlier. Tree pipit. We've got live
hang
badger.
on. We've got live badger.
It's turned up.
You've got to be joking.
There we are. I like badgers. What about you?
Do you know what? They are one of my favourite mammals, and I can't believe we got a live badger right now when I was just asking you, what would you like to turn up?
And one turned up. I'm going badger, please. Seriously.
We would like them. I mean, that's obviously on one of our live wildlife cameras. We'd like one in the pub, though, wouldn't we?
Yes. OK, so
yes.
in terms... Well, not a badger, not with all of us here at this point in time. What are we likely to get here at this time of night? Well, we could obviously get bat species that could be flying around, so that's the pipistrelles, maybe a serotine or something like that. We did have tree pipit earlier calling. It's stopped now. Well, I can't hear it because we're talking, but, you know... But that's great, isn't it? Badger scratching away, having a nibble.
I mean, now that the wind has died down, the midges are out in force, aren't they? So that's probably...
Yeah, we are feeding the local ecology here. I'm up to about a pint so far, I think.
But these badgers, they have been coming out earlier and earlier, haven't they? And I've got a bit of a hypothesis, obviously, because it's been so dry, the ground has been rock hard.
Yep.
Now, this deluge of rain,
Yep.
they're able to forage better for worms, aren't they? So I think they're taking advantage of it.
Yeah, it could be. It could be that. But the other thing we've noticed, though, with this set is that there aren't any cubs there, this year's cubs. There's some last year's cubs. So that's a bit of a mystery, really. It could be down to the dry spring because, you know, maybe the female couldn't get enough weight on at that point. But, I mean, you're going back to February when they're born, so that's less likely. Maybe they were born and they perished because there wasn't enough water about. I don't know. I don't know that area specifically. But yeah, it's great to see them.
Yeah, I mean, the badger set I've been filming where I am in Cornwall, I always know to go there after it's rained because they will come out a little bit earlier because they're hungry. They're having a good forage around.
They are. And now's you're just on the cusp, aren't you? Because you want to get your timing right if you're going to go badger watching. You want to go before it gets midgy and the bracken comes up.
Yeah.
'Cause look, the bracken's on its way up.
It's on its way,
and
yeah.
that will come up and cloak the set. And by the time you get to that stage, you're in there, you're under it. You know, you're getting annihilated by midges.
I've got a problem with nettles.
There we go. It's usually this time of the night that we see the badgers come out, but we see a lot of activity in the morning. That's when they're particularly active. This is them coming back in after foraging. They come back to the set after a night out, and this is around 4:30 a.m. You can hear that beautiful dawn chorus in the background. Now, they'll have been out foraging, looking mainly for earthworms, which form a large percent of their diet. And they've been foraging in the woods around and also in the fields just the other side of that wall. Now, we've seen 6 individuals regularly, but there may be many more. This set is massive. Our cameras are focused on 4 entrances. Look at that badger. I mean, that's a great shot, isn't it? But our cameras can see 4 of the entrances, but we know that there are at least 15 in the woods. So, as I say, this clan could be much bigger than the 6 individuals that we're seeing. And we know that that set is 25 years old, at least 25 years old. But some of them can be hundreds of years old. This is what they regularly do. We've seen plenty of this grooming, this play fighting, this dominance copulation. Just listen to the sound. Isn't that an incredible sound? I love that. If you're in the woods and you hear that sound when you're going on a dawn chorus, you'll now know that it's badgers doing a bit of play fighting. So, as I say, that's when we generally see a lot of action, is when they're coming back to the set, and then they'll obviously spend the day underground sleeping. But just have a look at what we saw last night when they came out. Now, normally, they'd just come out, there'd be a little bit of action, and then they'd head off to forage. But last night, they hung around. They treated us to plenty of interaction. They were at the entrance to the set, and they did plenty of grooming. I know we've seen lots of this scratching and stuff, but it's really important. And they don't just groom themselves, they groom each other as well, so they can get to all of those little bits that maybe they can't get to themselves. But as I say, this isn't just part of the bonding. This is very important. This is a defense against parasites because they have plenty of them. In fact, they have a specialized flea called a badger flea. And in a study in East Sussex, 88% of badgers had fleas and 100% had parasites. Not only do they clean themselves, but they also have to get those parasites out of the bedding. This is the first time that we've actually seen them clean their bedding. They pull it out and they air it. It's full of leaves and debris. And as I say, they've got to get the parasites out of that bedding as well. Oh, we've got a live badger. Should we go to that first? Before we celebrate passionate people, let's celebrate the badgers. Look at that. There we go. Coming out at this time of night. As I said earlier, they're not usually that active when they first come out. They're going to be going off foraging. And that's exactly on cue what that one has done. It came straight out of the set, didn't hang around, didn't do all of that scratching and the grooming that we've seen. It's headed out to get some food.
What badger ever emerges from a set and then doesn't have, a fundamental scratch?
Well, it had a quick scratch.
Never seen anything like it. Only on Springwatch, when you get a live badger, does not have a scratch.
Let's leave the birds and go to the badgers. Now, the badgers have been pretty active, haven't they, recently?
They have, yeah. We've been incredibly lucky with this. They come out, they typically are sort of emerging from their set. They're a nocturnal mammal, and they tend to, we've seen them sort of coming out from about 7:45, so just as the show's kicking off, and they make their appearance generally from about sort of throughout 8 o'clock to sort of 9:30 is kind of when they're emerging, just like this one's doing now. And this is great because it's doing that scratch. I don't know if you caught the show earlier, Michaela was explaining that they have things like badger flea and all sorts of things like that. insects that get get caught in their fur while they're in the set, and they're scratching and keeping themselves very clean when they come out before they head off. So again, natural behaviour.
Yeah, it's really going for it. I mean, we've had a question here from Sarah Brown saying, why do the badgers come out during the show and not during the day? And I mean, that's because not so much nowadays, but they would have had predators. They would have had things that they had to hide from. And in areas where you've got things like wolves and bears and things like that, they'll take a badger.
Yes.
So they're a very nocturnal animal. Although, of course, in the summer when the days are long, you get the chance to see them come out in the day. I was going to say, and not just in black and white, but of course, a badger is always in black and white. But yes, this is lovely to see. So this is a massive set. What's really cool about it's got a very Peak District backdrop. You've got the dry stone wall you can just see in the background. Look at it scenting the air there, having a little sniff around. And this actually straddles this dry stone wall. You've got some in the wood and then some in the field on the other side. And the great thing about this set is it is huge. It spreads a huge... We've got a question here. Do we know how many badgers are living in this set? Well, how many have we seen?
We've seen 6 individuals at any one time, and they all seem to be kind of about 1, maybe 2 years old, juveniles, and we think they're male, so this could be a bachelor group.
But we are only looking at a very small part of this set. We reckon there's probably between 15 to 20 entrances in this set, and we're only looking at a few. But fantastic to see the badgers. They're a Springwatch classic, and it's nice that they're playing ball a little bit this season, because sometimes the badgers only come out once we've gone off air.
Yes, exactly, and that can be very frustrating, so it is lovely to be able to see them live.
I mean, if you're seeing the snail shells, there's a very good chance that the rock is right next to it. Oh, hello, the badger's back. Very
Excellent.
nice, having a proper scratch.
Yeah.
Trying to get rid of all those badger fleas. So, I mean, it's a pretty nice selection of animals we've got. And what's really nice about this series of Springwatch is that we've got lots of stuff to watch right through the night as well for your guys' team who are in here all throughout the night.
Absolutely.
We've got 3 species of owl and some badgers.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Which is great. And for the people watching at home, being able to watch right up until the point that these cameras go offline is great. We've got so much really cool stuff for people to watch. So we're going to leave you now for the evening, but you can tune in, as we've said, to these fantastic cameras from 10 a.m. every day, and you are seeing into the lives of some extraordinary species, whether they're common ones like the badger or whether that's some of the upland specialists that we've got here, like these short-eared owls.
What about our badgers? Let's have a look at our badgers, because we haven't seen much of them recently. They've not been very active because of the rain, but we have had a few glimpses as they've come out of the set. We've often seen them doing this, gnawing that tree. But look at this, because we've seen fighting before, but it's getting a little bit more aggressive. I mean, this is really fighting and biting. It's likely they're 2 cubs from last year, probably male, because by summer they'll have to venture off to find a new clan. The females more likely to stick around. But yeah, it's getting quite aggressive, quite vicious. And they keep going at each other, even as they go into their set. There's still a little bit of argy-bargy, pushing one in. Go on, down you go, down you go. As they're settling down for the night, but you can still hear them. I mean, they're quite noisy as well, aren't they? But then take a look at this. This is quite interesting, because at 5:58, that's much later than normal, this badger comes back. It's the walk of shame, isn't it?
Dirty stop out.
Dirty stop out indeed, Chris. Shouldn't be coming back that late. And look, it comes out again.
Well, just because it went in and all you could hear was, where the hell have you been?
Where have you
Where
been?
have you been?
Where have you been? At 8:09, when it's supposed to be sleeping and in the set, it comes out.
That's it. It's all over.
Where's it going?
That relationship's finished.
Yeah, that's finished. Where's it heading, eh?
The real reason I'm coming in here is because 80 metres into the woodland behind me, our long lens cameraman Steve is ready and poised, looking down at a badger set. Steve, have you got anything for us? No, not yet, no. Doesn't matter. We've still got time. We've still got a little bit of time. Now, There are 4 big sets here on the reserve and 10 subsets, and we've been concentrating on the one in this wood. And last few days we've actually had a lot of activity there. Beautiful evening the other evening, and then the badgers all emerge roughly the same time, about 7:30 every night, except tonight of course. Having a look. They're quite nervous. It's not a well-visited set, so they are nervous of any strange sounds. About 5 to 7 females there, we reckon, plus cubs. Bit of anal rubbing. And the cubs, well, they emerge about 8 to 10 weeks old in late April, early May. So we reckon these are probably around 3 months old, we think. Now, we've also noticed that quite a few of the badgers are molting now, especially the boars, especially the males. It's quite a long process. Starts in May. Some of them start molting in May. Look at them. Obviously a very itchy business. Now, they will have molted those under hairs, and these are the guard hairs, the long guard hairs, the winter coats that they are now beginning to molt. Really scruffy looking. They spend a lot of the time scratching, getting rid of all of those old hairs. Now, let's have another look. So let's have a quick look live. Come on, Steve. Please, please, please. Can you deliver for me? Deliver for me. Just rub Chris and Michaela's faces in it. No, nothing at all. Well, we've had quite a few badgers on our remote camera as well. The one where earlier we saw the red squirrel, and we had a bit of rain over the weekend, and this badger, well, he looked absolutely soaked, this one here. Here he comes, look. They don't mind the wet weather because they can forage in the open fields looking for earthworms. Earthworms form a lot of their diet there. He's just coming along, but he knows full well that there's plenty of food. There's food that's been put out for the birds and the squirrels. And look at him sitting down on the log there as if he is just going to eat. Listen, we're going to go live. Quick, we've got live badgers. Can we go to Steve? Now, can we go over to Steve? Oh, there we are. Look, sneaking away. You can just about sneak in. There's the face. Live badgers. Come back, badgers, come back. Don't go. This is my fourth time, right, trying to get live badgers on Springwatch, and I give you a distant glimpse of a face. Superb.
We've got live badgers at the moment on one of our cameras. We can go to them live. Here we are. The one on the left is called Yolo, and the one on the right is called Williams. Yolo and Williams out live now on our screens.
Isn't that amazing, though, Chris? I mean, we haven't seen much of the badgers because the weather's been so bad.
That's exactly right.
And as soon as the weather changes, out they come and they're active. And don't they look gorgeous in that light?
Yeah.
Going
what
past
they
the
don't like,
foxglove.
Nick, is the wind. I've noticed this in my years of badger watching. If it's really windy, they can't hear anything. And because their eyesight's not good, and also the wind is going to blow all the scents around because they're relying really on their sense of hearing and smell, they hate it when it's windy, and they generally don't come out until it, drops a little bit.